Kevin Colbert kind of echoed that, listen to Ben. Ben is above you guys. We got a separate set of rules for Ben. But let me ask you a question, Skip. When Antonio Brown was a 6th-round draft pick, was he on Facebook Live? After they have a big week?
There was a Facebook Live.
Was he, in his first 3 years, did Antonio Brown do any of the things he did once he became, you notice I said, Jenny, I said Antonio Brown. Once he became a B. See, so AB is...
Are you talking about Mr. Big Chest?
Oh, old Big Chest. Big Chest Brown. Oh, that's what they call him, old Big Chest Brown. See, once he became that, and Kevin Colbert also said, they need to do a better job of handling Le'Veon and AB while they're coming up, because once they get the superstar status, remember I told you that, Skip, you train, and please don't take this the wrong way, guys. It's like when you have a puppy and you're trying to raise him, you let him know that going in the house, pottying in the house is unacceptable.
You do?
You don't wait till he gets 3, 4 years old to try to, no, you shouldn't do that.
Sure.
No, you do that young.
Did you hear that, Hazel? Did you hear that? Did you hear what Shannon Sharp just said? Hazel still doesn't quite.
She doesn't quite.
Hazel.
Hazel got spoiled more by her mom than her dad.
I was
but
gonna
that's a whole
say.
other issue.
Now,
Go ahead.
I will agree with him on AD because I believe, I was told
Yep.
that they made it abundantly clear to Dale Demps that AD would not be re-signing the contract extension this summer, and he wanted to move, he wanted to get traded. AD is giving up a lot of money. He made it very clear. Money is not the most important thing to him. Legacy is. He wanted to go to a situation. He's like, I give you 7 years. How many more years you got? Won't. He want to go to a situation that he can win consistently and compete for a championship. But Dale didn't run that up the flagpole because he saw how good AD was playing and how he was interacting with his teammates. AD gonna be happy. We let this thing play out. And so AD had to take matters into his own hands, make it public. Then, because see, what if the team wanted to trade AD? Would AD have been selfish? I don't know how organizations worth billions, Skip, have tricked the fans that they'll always do what's in the best interest of the team, and if a player ever does something that's not in the best interest of the team, they're being disloyal. I never understood that. AD says, I just want to win. He talked to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's probably one of the best examples, Skip, because he was in Minnesota. And he stayed there, and he said it. I stayed longer than probably what I should have, out of loyalty. Had no chance of winning. Only went to the Western Conference Final once, and I think it was in 2004.
Yep.
And lost to the Shaq and Kobe-led Lakers. He said, I should have made this decision a lot earlier.
Yep.
The only difference, Skip, now, and what used to be before free agency became to what it is, guys are not waiting until they're past their prime to go link up and try to win titles. You saw Charles Barkley move late in his career. You saw Karl Malone move late in his career. You see a lot of guys.
You never saw Jordan, but go ahead. Well, you do. You don't. You never did.
This is not about a, you know what's good. But anyway, as I was saying, is that guys.
You think they'll ever have Jordan on the shop?
What are you gonna cut? He ain't got nothing to cut. He's bald head. He been bald head since 84.
I can say that about a lot of guys who've sat in those chairs.
No, LeBron James, look at it, got a head full of hair. Head full of hair. Look at that thing.
You sure about that?
Yeah, he do. Look at that thing dark. Look at that beard. Oh! But anyway, I was saying, Skip, baby, before I was interrupted, all I'm saying is this. Anthony Davis, he tried to handle it in a certain way. And because now Anthony Davis no longer wants to play for a team, he's selfish, he's disloyal. And I have a problem with that.
Okay, I got it. So I have loved what I've seen so far from the shop because I love the energy of it. I love the depth of it. I love where LeBron and Maverick take people in it. But the shop is missing one real component from a real barbershop, and that is a dissenting voice, a naysayer, a fire starter.
Oh, you should be in there.
I should be in there. I would work in that.
You would do well.
Because that guy always serves in a real barbershop as kind of the objective moderator of it, because he's going to say, hey, wait a second.
What about,
right? And then it just escalates. Then it goes up to DEFCON 7, right? And everybody's going crazy, and hopefully everybody agrees to disagree and just goes on about it, right? Okay, because somebody needed to say, wait a second, Antonio, What about the Facebook Live after you had just won a playoff game at Kansas City? A big win.
What about not showing up for week 17?
Thank you very much. What about the constant feuding with your quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger?
Or
what about throwing the
cooler.
Gatorade or whatever it was, the cooler onto the field? Or, dare I have to bring this up, what about the 2 alarming off-field incidents that you've had? No huge, but they're alarming, right? Alarming. So nobody did that but you. You brought that upon yourself, right?
Correct.
So when you say, Antonio says, that's the narrative they try to create once you're doing your own thing. No, nobody tried to create it. You created your own narrative.
Skip, it's kind of hard to do your own thing in a team sport.
Okay.
Tiger can do his own thing. Serena can do her own thing in an individual sport.
Yep.
When you're in a team sport, it's hard to do your own thing.
Especially in football.
Yes.
Maybe you can in basketball a little bit more than football. Maybe a little bit more. Which brings me to poor Anthony Davis, who's sitting there, and then LeBron brings it up, and he brings up the same point about Anthony that Antonio brought up about Antonio. And LeBron is saying nobody had ever said one negative word. Not even his friends, Anthony's friends, had ever said one word about him for 7 years. But you tell them when the narrative is going to change, and you don't do what they want you to do.
Right.
No. LeBron, somebody needed to call LeBron on this one. You changed his narrative. Rich Paul changed his narrative because somebody had to advise him. If you want out, you're going to have to go villain. Am I right?
Right.
Because
that he tried, but Skip, what if he tried it the other way? What if he tried to handle it nice and quietly behind the scenes? Like Kareem said, well, they handled it behind the scene. They got it done.
In Milwaukee.
Right, in Milwaukee. Well, he tried in the summer, I'm not going to re-sign with you. I would like for you to move me.
Okay. Because LeBron and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports attempted to flex their enormous muscles and they can throw their weight in this league. And I'm still shocked they didn't pull it off.
Skip, that's AD. That's AD. AD is not going to go in. I don't care what Rich Paul says. I don't care what LeBron says.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is going to be put in the best situation for Anthony Davis.
Okay. But he does have 2 years left on a contract that he did sign.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So all of a sudden, he's going to get vilified by the fans who used to love him in New Orleans. And I think they still kind of grudgingly love him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But again, you're going to have to go all-out villain to get out from under your situation that you accepted in New Orleans. And again, it didn't work, and it was foolish pride on the part of Dell Demps, who no longer is employed by the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay? So, but the point is that it's always that they changed the narrative. No, LeBron, you started changing it, and then Anthony agreed with you and Rich. Okay, I'm going to change it. I want out.
Anthony wanted out. But here's the thing, how about this? Let's just say for the sake of argument, we see how the Pelicans are handling Anthony Davis, letting him play 20, 22 minutes, 23 minutes a night. What if Anthony Davis said, you know what? Since y'all haven't traded me, I want to protect myself. I'm only going to play. I'm going to bench myself at the 20-minute mark.
I would not condemn him for that.
No!
I wouldn't condemn him if he just said, I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out.
And plus the thing is, Skip, let's be 1,000% real. The narrative around Kevin Garnett, we view Kevin Garnett differently because of what happened when he went to Boston.
Sure.
If he stays 20 years in Minnesota, we don't look at Kevin Garnett the same way.
I'll throw Kevin Love in there, too.
I'll throw Kevin Durant in there.
Okay.
We look at KD totally different because what was the narrative, Skip? Man, all that talent, and he can't win the big one?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what guys are like, hold on. They look at Karl Malone. We would look at Karl Malone totally different if he has 1, 2 rings. We look at Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley waited late in his career when he was on his last leg. He still did it to try to win a championship. Karl Malone went to the Lakers to try to win a championship.
He did.
They had Shaq, they had Kobe, they had Gary Payton.
They did.
He's trying to win a championship. These young boys, like, I'm not waiting a year 14, year 15.
By the way, Karl Malone gets a pass because of the GOAT. Well, he does.
He ain't no pass.
He just kept running into the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
How can you beat the GOAT?
That's what I'm saying. Well, Larry Bird should be the GOAT. Because Larry Bird used to bust the GOAT head. I tell you what the GOAT can't say. The GOAT can't say he ever beat Larry Bird in a playoff. He can't say that. So Larry Bird might be...
I dare LeBron to have the GOAT in the shop.
He ain't got no hair. No, well, first of all,
I don't
Skip.
think that's the main
Skip,
issue.
you know what? I'm saying, look, why we got to invite him to our place? He got all these other barbershops we can go to. Go to them. Don't come to our shop.
That would be great conversation.
He would just shut your shop down.
No, it wouldn't shut nothing down.
I'd like to see that too.
No, he
I'd
ain't
like to see
coming.
both of you on it. Now that you bring that up,
He not coming to the shop, Skip. He got all the other barbershops.
Good.
Listen, Michael Jordan will be invited before I would be invited.
No, he ain't gonna be invited.
I'm
Nah.
sorry, but I have to agree on that, Skip. All right, are the Cowboys about to make a major addition on defense?
Yep.
We'll tell you.